The Cultural and Creative Industries Federation of South Africa has expressed profound disappointment with the recent statements made by the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie. So the organisation believes that the Minister's public utterances, which include, amongst others, allegations of corruption and money laundering against that organisation, reflect a lack of engagement and dialogue with the Federation. To respond to the Minister's allegations, we're now joined by the Cultural and Creative Industries Federation of South Africa's National Coordinator, Luzuko Khohli. But before we talk to him, let's take a listen to what Minister McKenzie had to say about their organisation at the funeral service of music veteran Winnie Khumalo.
How sukula o represent ke motho o sukulang. Artists die. They are represented by CCIFSA. Why can't CCIFSA pay for the funeral of artists? They're getting millions and millions and millions. They steal from artists. CCIFSA is a criminal organization that I have the bank statements of how many millions they got, but the artists are still poor. Why did you get all these millions? This time you have a minister. If you say I'm lying, watch my Twitter tomorrow. I will bring out the bank statements of how much you were paid from doing all these years. You said the government did nothing for you. I am not these comrades that are getting accused for nothing. You got millions and millions and millions. Where's that money? What have you done with that money? During COVID, you said the government did nothing for you. I brought out a list. People were calling me, Minister, I never got a cent, but we paid the money. I am making a call to artists. Stop being represented by every Tom, Dick and Jabulani. Know your business. Understand your business.
All right, so those were the utterances made by the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, against CCIFSA, which those utterances had been made at the funeral of music veteran Winnie Khumalo. And we're joined now, of course, by Luzuko Khohli, who is with CCIFSA. Mr. Khohli, thank you very much indeed for your time. So you're a criminal organisation, according to the Minister, and basically judging from your statement that you released, you say the Minister's utterances or accusations are unfounded.
Yes, greetings to you, Griselda, and your viewers. I think I need to put into perspective two things that are mentioned by the Minister. And for me to clear that, I would want to give you a short background. CCIFSA was established in 2015. Before that, there was an interim committee that was allocated the budget to take CCIFSA to conference. And from there is a leadership that was elected in 2015. That leadership was allocated budget. We came into office 2019. And I can tell you now, Griselda, from where we are sitting, the maximum amount we have received from the department in a financial year is 5 million. And that 5 million was clearly indicated to us as operational budget. And in that operational budget, you would know that in a memorandum of agreement with a department, you would have items in terms of what that budget is supposed to be used for. And we are happy to say in this platform that we have reported for every cent that we have received from 2019 till the last transaction that we may have received from the department. We have not only reported to the department, but we have also reported to the portfolio committee, and we have responded to any other follow-up questions that may have come from the portfolio committee. So for us to be hearing on TV, having not been engaged by the minister, that we are a criminal organization was a huge surprise to us. It's a huge surprise to us because We have never had an issue with the minister. The minister invited us in Cape Town to a meeting. We attended the meeting. We shared our input. The minister invited us to a post-parade. But the minister has never sat down with us and said, guys, I have a problem with you. You are not reporting. We heard in one of the clips that we are not reporting and all that. We have never accounted for the money. And it's a real concern to us. And we are saying to the minister, it would have been much better if the minister had called the organization and say, I heard this or I saw this, and how do you respond to it before using the platform, the public platform. So that is what, that's the number one issue that we want to rectify. The second issue that we want to rectify is the fact that the minister says we must contribute to funeral. I can tell you now, CIFSA is getting 5 million for operations. You go to counterparts, sports, for instance. Sports gets plus minus, SASCO plus minus more than 80 million. But they've never buried one person with their budget. So we are expected, with the little that we get for operations, to bury artists. And also, the minister knows very well that if you are given a budget, you must also make sure that you follow the agreement that you have. You can't deviate from that budget and do anything as you please. So we cannot really understand where that point is coming from.
All right. Mr. Khohli, thank you very much for clarifying some of these aspects. But where does the issue of the 12 million rand come into? The accusation is that some 12 million rand was given to CIFSA to assist struggling artists. And from what I also understand is that even at some point, the minister was calling for an investigation into your organization. I'll come to that just a little bit later. Where does the 12 million come from then, relating to what was supposedly given to your organization?
Okay, I have no idea, this one, and that's the honest truth.
So you were not given 12 million?
We don't know the 12 million. The only thing that we can explain is that on our first year of office, we're only given 2.5 million. There's a year that we didn't get any operational budget. In our following year, we got 2.5 million, and that 2.5 million was specifically for the policy conference, of which me and you know that an organization of that caliber cannot have a conference with that kind of budget. We had to organize more resources to make sure that that conference sits with the budget that we were given. And we were later given another transaction and another transaction. But what we are saying, all those transactions were clearly stipulated that it's for operational budget, and we have used that for such. We have never been given money by government to give to artists. We have never been given money by government to run programs. And that is in the MOA that we have with the department.
But it certainly seems that there have been some concerns that have been raised. I'd also seen a report relating to a special investigating unit, a probe into your organization for alleged mismanagement of millions. Are you aware of that?
Personally, I was aware of that a couple of months before the minister even spoke about it. When one of the colleagues in the industry called me and told me, we are pushing the minister to investigate CIFSA. Do you have any issues? Because we wouldn't want you to be implicated and whatnot. And I said to him, listen, if the organization needs to be investigated and it's for the good reasons of the creative, let it be done. You can't say you are separating me from this and whatnot.
But is the special investigating unit probing your organization at the moment?
We are not sure, but I got an SMS, I think 2 weeks back, to say the minister is starting with the process of investigation. We got the news from the portfolio committee that the organization will be investigated, and we will be cooperating with the processes.
And it was, I think it was the Council of Provinces as well. There seems to be some discontent coming from somewhere, because didn't the National Council of Provinces also question the statements that you put forward as an organisation about the so-called 12 million which was paid to your organisation by the department, which you are disputing?
Okay, I'm not, as I'm saying, I'm not aware of what that 12 million is and where it's coming from. I'm talking about, it could be that maybe in the previous administration that money was paid, but as far as I understand, in our administration, there is no 12 million that was paid to us for us to distribute to artists. That I can stand here and confirm, and in any platform. There is no 12 million that were given that was meant for the creatives.
And just in closing, Mr. Khohli, so would you welcome any investigation? You say just a couple of weeks back, you learned through SMS that your organisation would be investigated for alleged misappropriation of funds. And you say that you were only paid 5 million, but there could be a possibility that this 12 million was paid during the previous administration. Would you welcome an investigation into your organisation, even if this money had been paid during the previous tenure of whosoever was there, and take accountability? Or perhaps, did you even do due diligence? Do you not know what monies were paid at all prior to you coming into the picture within this organisation, so that you start or come into these positions on a clean slate? Because these are serious allegations that are being made. Even the National Council of Provinces is questioning the statements that have been put forward by your organisation.
The reality is that, Cassandra, in terms of the previous administration, we have not really gone through to check how much money were paid and all that, because this whole thing was a short attack to us and we needed to respond. We are going to follow up on those issues. In terms of us, we are allowing the minister to do whatever is necessary to ensure that the government money is used for what is asked for. As I said, our administration has received transactions, I think, I'm not sure whether 3 or 4 transactions from the department, and they were all for administration. And we have used money accordingly, and we are open to any engagement. And we are saying to the minister as well, we are open for any engagement with him so that this issue is resolved.
Mr. Khohli, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on the programme.